Virgo. So y'all gave me the most views, so you get the first video. So for you Virgos, you actually have the Seven of Swords, Ten of Wands, and then you have the King of Cups. So the Seven of Swords speaks about how the more you're becoming intriguing. So there's this sense of you Virgos feeling like you have to excommunicate yourself and excuse yourself from the world and stay away. And you're only getting the opposite effect. The more people want you. But, you Virgos got to understand, especially when it comes to us Virgos, people don't really want to admit that they like us, for whatever reason. A lot of people don't really want to admit that they like us. And that's part of what really stops them from really getting to where it is that they want to really go. If you ask me, a lot of people like us Virgos a lot more than what we think they do, and what they let on. Is just a simple fact that, you have a lot of people who will stop that. You know, they will try to make sure that it doesn't happen by trying to make you into an adversary of theirs, even though you didn't really do anything, you know. So, um, you know, that's pretty much it, really, as far as that, that's really what it is. People don't really want to be in a relationship with you because they want to have an excuse. Like, you gotta understand, like, a lot of this is another reason too why it is that I was telling you Virgos to not mind it so much. Is because a lot of people really are kind of feeling that they're getting into some sort of spiritual awakening, or they take this moral high ground to be a dysfunctional person. So it's like you Virgos coming in and being a love interest of them. And especially if you are functional, a lot of people are not really going to want to deal with you because they like you a lot. Like, a lot of you Virgos are probably wouldn't even understand how much people really want you. But again, they'll do things to kind of get in the way of that, says the Ten of Wands, right? And so it's this dynamic where you Virgos are actually trying to keep people out of your business because you're not really trying to run game at all. A lot of you Virgos don't really care if you're even single or if you're in a relationship. A lot of you Virgos probably not even really trying to be in a relationship with anybody, And the King of Cups here for you also represents how, the Ten of Wands represents, but people want to find out more about you, even though, and the King of Cups here represents, again, it's the sense of you Virgos deciding to kind of actually lay low. And then you have the High Priestess and the Six of Cups. The High Priestess and the Six of Cups represents, secret admirers, new and old people, new people that you are not familiar with, and people that you are familiar with that want you quite a bit, that want you a lot. But like it is that I said a few seconds ago, you do, but some of those people will do a lot to make sure that you and their connection doesn't work because they have committed themselves to a very wild way of thinking. So when they meet someone that kind of doesn't apply to that, they don't want to be wrong. And then not only that too, but also if we're really going to get into some intense stuff, how far they will allow you Virgos to go. They don't, you gotta understand, people are there's so much, there's only so much I can say here on YouTube, but like, you gotta understand, like, when we really start talking about what people want versus what it is that they actually go with, right? You'll be surprised at what people want versus what they actually go with, right? Like, I remember I was dating somebody and The person basically told me that me and them are going to have to break up at some point because they're having too much fun. Like, this is why a lot of people are going to end up being single, right? And that, us as Virgos, if we really want love, we're going to have to basically kind of fly out. Both my brothers did it. They're successful, thankfully, and they will stay successful. And I'm going to have to do it too, right? So, because of that kind of thinking. And so you have a lot of secret admirers, right? Even some people that you are familiar with coming back. But the high priestess also represents some people whom you are not even familiar with who like you. Or you may know, but but you are not privy to know that they like you, right? Um, until that. And so then you have the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles here for you represents how this is a place where what you Virgos got going on is, so you're doing your thing. I don't see a lot of you Virgos really trying to date. Again, a lot of you can really take it or leave it. A lot of you Virgos are laying low. A lot of you Virgos are planning on laying low. And you're planning on handling your business and enjoying your life. The Hermit in the Nine of Cups, however, represents, the Hermit is Virgo. So some of you, right, will go back to a happy place as far as like being by yourselves. And some of you, right, and choose solitude. And some of you Virgos will decide to travel and just be single, you know what I mean? Or some of you will date, go out there, do what you do. And then the things that the Nine of Cups here represents, you'll do it with impunity. You'll do it with goodness in your heart, confidence and everything like that, because you Virgos have never been more wanted. And I'm telling you, it's only gonna pick up. It's only gonna pick up because now you Virgos have the Page of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles here. And the Page of Wands basically represents how you're doing your thing. This is, for a lot of you Virgos, this is a long journey of you basically choosing to not be in a relationship because a lot of you Virgos are just fulfilled. You're not really trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really trying to be in like, you're not really pressing it to be in a relationship like that. A lot of you Virgos probably have a lot to do anyway, or at the, the bare minimum, you just enjoy your company. Things are going quite well for you. A lot of you Virgos like the power of being able to create the agenda, what's on the agenda for today. And then not only that too, but also the fact that, the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles here represents, and you like doing what you like to do. So a lot of you Virgos want to be able to be single. For you other Virgos who are choosing to go and date, a lot of you Virgos are going to choose to go and date. And you're going to find out who's good for you and who's not. Let's clarify. I don't know, I guess I'll use the Archangel to clarify. So let's clarify the High Priestess. Nine of Michael, Lovers, change your life. Queen of Ariel. And then you have the Eight of Raphael. So the situation for you, the Nine of Michael, the Lovers, and the change your life right here for you represent how this is a situation for you where the Nine of Michael, the Lovers, and the change your life, right? The Nine of Michael really just to clarify the High Priestess, secret admirers, whether you are familiar with them, but they are admiring you secretly, or you just don't know it, or they're not physically there. So it's like it could be some sort of stalking through social media. It could be maybe they are around you, but they're not like just letting you know that they like you, and or any of that, right? Maybe they may even have a little bit of beef with you, where it's like for you Virgos just don't know what's going on, right? With them. It could be, like I said, exes that has been viewing you and they pop back up. Then you have the Knight of Michael, like I said, right? To clarify, the High Priestess. So this represents an individual that's been meaning to come talk to you because they haven't really been living a very good life as far as without you. You know, things haven't been quite amazing without you. And so the lovers in the change your life for you represent how they want you back. Lovers change your life. You change their life pretty much. You know, them being in a relationship with you, they pretty much know what true love is. And the Queen of Ariel and the Eight of Raphael here represents how this is a place where for you, again, the Queen of Ariel, the Eight of Raphael, this is more so about how you Virgos are in a place where the Queen of Ariel speaks about you Virgos, and it represents how, you know, how just solidified emotionally a lot of you really are. And the Eight of Raphael represents how, again, a lot of you Virgos don't really have a whole lot of time to really um, kind of deal with people and their games, because like it is, I said before, just permanently ghost. Because a lot of people are really working with agendas, you know. Don't flip. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, don't get upset. It is what it is. You know, just accept that a lot of people are out here working with agendas, and you Virgos do your thing, and don't switch up. Let's clarify the Hermit for you Virgos. Let's clarify the Hermit. You have the Six of Ariel, Six of Gabriel, then you have the Two of Gabriel, the Eight of Ariel, and then you also have the Perspective, right? So the Six of Ariel, the Six of Gabriel, and the Two of Gabriel here for you Virgos represent how the Six of, to represent the, to clarify the Hermit, the Six of Ariel is about being balanced. So a lot of you Virgos some of you may do a little bit of both, where you may just pretty much just kind of every now and again look. Some of you Virgos may just perpetually look. Some of you Virgos may be like, nah, you're gonna take a little bit of a break. You're not really gonna go and try to see who's out here for the time being. The Six of Gabriel, I mean, and you know, and that's the thing about us Virgos, we can be diverse. You know, we're not really one size fits all. And so the thing is that the Six of Gabriel and the Two of Gabriel here for you, it represents how a lot of you, you know, you don't, like I said, a lot of you may not necessarily be ready to go out there and date. You know, some of you Virgos may be in a situation where, you know, you're ready to. The Eight of Ariel and the Perspective for you represents how it is a situation where a lot of you may, like I said, part of the reason why a lot of you Virgos may not be thinking about dating is because a lot of you may decide to get into your work, your craft, whatever your art or your work is, whether it's right, the Eight of Ariel, whether it's studying, whether it's reading, just reading more, really getting into the hobby of reading, your hobbies, whatever it is, and you're having fun, right? You're living your life. And the Perspective, right, represents, it just, you know, depends on the perspective. It depends on the Virgo that we're talking about. So, you know, a lot of you Virgos are players. You know, you kind of having a lot of people kind of really chase up behind y'all, and you're not really trying to do any of that. And what did I tell y'all? You get people to chase up behind you sometimes, because it doesn't necessarily always work, but you doing it by not trying to do anything. You're just living your life. That's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We're at 29,681 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever it is that I drop my videos. Peace. Have a good one.